What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. We kicked off the Secret Slayers with the full reveals of the Adamantia, and they are very freaking good. And now we have some zombie reveals here, but what's concerning to me is they only have one monster so far. Last time we saw that, it was the Sky Strikers, and those turned out very frightening. So let's see how these zombies turned out, and we're going to start with the boss monster reveal. He's been out for a bit, but I haven't reviewed him on the channel yet. This is Eldlich, the Golden Lord, a level 10 light zombie effect monster, attack 2500, defense 2800. You can only use each effects of this card's name once per turn. Send this card and one spell or trap from your hand to the graveyard. Then target one card on the field, send that card to the graveyard. So it is targeting but non-destruction removal that is very good, but at a cost of 2 for 1. But it's zombies, right? They're supposed to get in the graveyard and do things, and he has his own effect that if this card is in your graveyard, you can send one spell or trap you control to the graveyard, add this card to your hand, then you can special summon a zombie monster from your hand, so it could be himself. Also, that monster gains 1000 attack and defense and cannot be destroyed by effects till the end of your opponent's turn. So he gets buffer for the boss monster, 3500, which is pretty good, and then he also can just pop on out himself. But all of this costs 2 spell and traps, so I'm wondering what they all do. And from the artworks and early reveals, I've seen they're all spell and traps, but haven't got to read any of these. Not a reaction channel. Let's go ahead and get into this, starting with Cursed Eldorlando. Well, hey, Orlando, that's where, you know, the WCQ is. Maybe this deck will be played there, or it'll be cursed for it, but I think it's like El Dorado with all the gold. It's a continuous spell card. You can only use this card's second and third effects once per turn each. The first line is you cannot attack with monsters except with zombie monsters, so it's a restriction, a choke out on the deck. I don't think that's too big of a deal since this isn't a field spell. You can still play Zombie World. You can pay 800 life points. Moments of Yu-Gi-Oh! Terror and history are preceded by this. Pay 800 life points, some of the most broken cards. Add one Eldlich monster or one Golden Land spell/trap from your deck to your hand. So it searches what looks like to be your entire archetype, maybe. Eldlich/Golden Land spell and trap. And then if this card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can send one Eldlich monster or one Golden Land spell and trap from the deck to the graveyard. So it's a resource game later, as well as a searcher on field with a very small restriction if you're playing zombies in general. Like, oh no, did you not get to Zombie World when you're playing Dangers, I guess. Next up is Elixir of the Black Awakening, so not one of the mentioned Golden Lands unless this is meant to be Golden Land. Spell normal. You can only use this card's name first or second effects once per turn and only once that turn. Special summon one zombie monster from your hand or deck in defense position. If you do not control an Eldlich monster, you can only special summon an Eldlich monster with this effect. So I was about to freak out. I was like, the zombie from deck or hand, this is crazy. But it does, it ties you to having the boss monster out in order to proceed with getting crazy bonkers broken. But that's still really insane for this archetype. For the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except zombie monsters. So it kind of locks you out of going too bonkers in the extra deck, but your graveyard should be accessible as a whole thanks to Zombie World. You can banish this card from your graveyard, set a Golden Land spell or trap directly from the deck to the field. Wow, the resource game of this is going to be strong depending on what those are. We've got Elixir of the White Fate, a quick play spell card. So if it was set, if this does mean that, then it would take a while to activate. You can only use this card's first or second effects once per turn and only once that turn. Special summon a zombie monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. If you do not control an Eldlich monster, you can only special summon an Eldlich monster with this effect. So same kind of choking restriction. You're revolving around the boss monster actually being on field for these cards. Otherwise, they're generically great because zombies are very generically great. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except zombie monsters. So no hand loop shenanigans. You can banish this card from your graveyard, set a Golden Land spell or trap directly from your deck to the field. Interesting. And we've got Elixir of the Red Splatter here. Normal trap card. You can only use this card's name first or second effect per turn and only once that turn. So, like, you can't use these the same turn they're sent to the graveyard. You can't just yeet them off is basically what I'm understanding. Special summon one zombie from your deck or graveyard in defense position. If you do not control an Eldlich monster, you can only special summon an Eldlich monster. So we have multiple ways to re-special summon the Eldlich monster, including his own effect. Don't DD Crow me, bro, please, bro, don't DD Crow me, is basically what I'm reading on all these cards. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except zombie monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard, set a golden land, spell or trap directly from your deck to your field. Interesting. Guardian of the Golden Land. So Golden Land is not Elixir. Uh-oh. Well, this is getting a little more restrictive depending. Continuous trap card. You can only use this card's first or second effect once per turn and only once that turn. Special summon this card to a monster zone as a normal monster. Yeah, that's what it looked like and it looked pretty badass. It's a zombie light level 8, attack 800, defense 2500, going into Zombie Stein in the extra deck I see. This card is still treated as a trap card. If you control an Eldlich Golden Lord, you can make one face-up monster's attack 0. That's not too bad. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, set one Eldlich spell / trap. Oh, they mix! So, Elixir spell and trap directly from your deck to your... I see you! So we get to go down certain trails in the resource game, starting to feel like zombie control is a realistic option, as if they weren't already the best rivalry deck. Now we've got Huakero of the Golden Land. Yeah, it's starting to feel like a mix of, yeah, okay. Continuous trap card. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects per turn and only once that turn. So we've got a zombie El Dorado going on here. Special summon this card to your monster zone as a normal monster. Zombie light, level 5, attack 1800, defense 15. This card is still a trap card. Then if you control an Eldlich the Golden Lord, you can banish one card from either graveyard. Ooh, mirror match kind of footsies there. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and set one Elixir spell or trap directly from your deck to your field. I really wish they gave this like a zombie link or something, since all of these traps are the monsters. Conquistador of the Golden Land. There just straight is. Continuous trap card. You can only use this card's name's first or second effect once per turn and only once that turn. Special summon this card to the monster zone as a normal monster. It's a zombie light, level 5, attack 500, defense 1800. Still treated as a trap card. Then if you control an Eldlich, you can destroy a face-up card. During the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, set one Elixir spell or trap from your deck to your field. All these feel somewhat slow, but it's still kind of interesting where they block these off. During the end phase, so not immediately, and you can't use it the same turn. So it's not like you can just banish these from the graveyards as quick traps and get your responsive stuff set up even sooner. It's feeling a little slow and grindy to me so far. Grinder Golem, can't help it. I'm sorry, Lithium. The Ever Glorious Golden Land counter trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. When a card or effect is activated and you control an Eldlich monster, tribute a zombie monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Card or effect, huh? Just everything. Just all of it, sure. But you have to control the Eldlich. So that's also, and none of these are called Eldlich. You have to do everything around the main guy. El Dorado, there it's just straight up is Atalantado. Okay, normal trap card. You can activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you control an Eldlich monster, activate one of these effects. Shuffle 3 of your banished Elixir spell or trap cards with different names into the deck, which you want them there for resources. And if you do, destroy all cards on the field. Okay, there's a payoff. There's a fine payoff. Just wipe everything. Shuffle 3 of your banished Golden Land spell or traps into the deck, and if you do, have your opponent's life points, then gain life points equal. Okay, the grind game too. So you want your stuff in the banished because you want them to have activated to go and get effects later, but they take 2 turns to get there, and for you not to get Lancia'd, by the way, although the traps will become quickies in the graveyard. Wow, very interesting. Although also the traps are stuck during the end phase you can. So Lancia kind of busts this deck up, doesn't it? Just a bit. Just a little bit, doesn't it? Because during the end phase you can't. So there's a specific window timing. You can't just do it anytime. I'm trying to think of this versus meta. I feel like I'm still more excited for the Adamantia. I love generic zombies, but revolving all around one dude where it's not like summonable from deck by area 0. You're going to have to work for it a lot more. Even if you can search it, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to dodge DD Crow. You're going to have to dodge Lancia against your deck. There's huge payoffs in this thing, and then I guess there's a reprint Unizombie. There's huge payoffs in this trap. There's really good back and forths, but it just feels too late for Yu-Gi-Oh, at least to me. Let me know what your player brain is thinking right now, because for me, I see something really cool conceptually, which happens a ton with these side sets. I'm like, wow, that's really cool, but I don't know if it's going to be doing so hot at regionals. All the support does lend out to generic zombies once you get this guy out. He has to be here or nothing's happening. It's his party, and without him, nothing doing. So you're so choke pointed to this one monster to get everything going, and then everything has very specific activation windows is what I don't like, but they're very good responsive cards. They're very good cards in general. I just don't know if they're good enough. It almost feels like fair Yu-Gi-Oh is the best way to put it. This is too fair for modern Yu-Gi-Oh mayhaps. Besides this final card is nuts, but again, it takes some time to get there, and dodge, some spell and trap destruction for the setup. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm definitely intrigued. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Patreon. So many people are signing up to the $20 tier. We're already to 10 different states. I can't believe it. I have a dream to one day mail cards to all 50 states, and already at 10, that is bonkers. Thank you guys for signing up so much. Check out the tiers and what you can get in the Patreon link below, and use my TCG player link when shopping. It supports the channel directly for cards you'd already be buying. If you don't want to support direct that way, you can always get cards a different way, the cards you actually want and are, hunting down. Maybe you're going to go after some zombies after this reveal, but I think I'd still be concentrating on the Adamantia personally out of the Secret Slayers for me.